If it was actually grape, then she would cry out, right? If it was actually grape, then she would cry out, right?
I can't believe I have to explain this again to a Christian, but the difference between sex and grape is consent. That's it. It is the easiest thing to understand. And this pathetic attempt to excuse this away by saying, oh, but she didn't scream. If it was grape, why didn't she scream? Is a very dangerous mindset to have, trying to excuse these atrocities that we see in this quote unquote perfect and good law of God is just reprehensible. There are millions of reasons why someone who's being attacked in that way may not scream or cry out for help. The first thing that pops in my head is that they don't want further harm to come to them. They don't want to maybe be unalived. Think of that. They're already being attacked in one of the worst ways someone could attack someone. They don't want to lose their lives too. Or maybe they don't want harm to come to someone that they love as a consequence of them trying to fight or call attention to what is happening to them right now in this moment. We also know that the human body might go into flight, fight, or freeze responses when faced with extreme violence or trauma or suffering something that mentally they might not be able to handle. There are some women that I know personally that were assaulted in this way that did not scream, but they cried the whole time through it. They said no. They didn't want their children, who were in the next room, to hear what was happening, so they just let it happen to them. But all of this was grape because they did not consent. So just because someone doesn't cry out does not mean that, oh, well, I guess it's not a grape. The fact that you are trying to push that mentality just reflects a very disgusting and dangerous mindset that you have. People should stay away from people like you if this is what you're teaching. But I don't think that you actually mean it. I think that you understand the difference between these. And I just think that there's some cognitive dissonance happening in your head to stop you from linking these two together, because you would have to then admit the atrocities that this God allows in the Bible, and you don't want to do that. It is a very biased view. And I know that the rest of this conversation basically ended with, well, we can't decide one way or another if this was grape or not. Yes, we can. The context is very clear. But you also showed your bias in only sticking to what the Christians said and not what the Judaic rabbis said about the text. You didn't want to go into that because they disagreed with what the Christian ones were saying. You just keep showing bias after bias after bias, and this is the result of it. You spreading dangerous misinformation by saying things like, well, if they didn't scream, guess we can't call it a grape.